Okay, so you want to own a Tesla, not drive one. Own the dealership, the showroom, the lot. Sell them to your neighbors. Take a cut on every deal. That's the picture. Cars, salespeople, a big lit up sign. Here's the problem with that picture. It doesn't exist. There is no Tesla dealership you can buy into. No franchise fee, no territory, no application to sell cars. Every single Tesla store on Earth is owned by Tesla itself. That single fact breaks the entire mental model people bring here. So let's actually figure out what this business is instead. Every other car brand sells through independent dealers. Ford, Toyota, Honda, all of it runs through local dealerships. A dealer buys cars wholesale, marks them up, and sells them. That dealer takes on inventory risk and pockets the margin. Tesla threw that entire model out from day one. It sells cars directly from its own stores at its own price. No haggling, no dealer markup, no commission salesperson pushing you. Walk into a Tesla store and the person helping you is salaried. They don't earn extra for talking you into a bigger battery pack. That's not a small detail. It's the whole business model. So why can't you just open your own Tesla store somewhere? Because most US states have laws written for the old model. Franchise laws that require new cars to sell through dealers. Laws written decades ago, long before Tesla existed at all. They were meant to protect independent dealers from manufacturers. Tesla doesn't use dealers, so those laws hit it differently. In several states, Tesla legally could not sell cars directly. Michigan blocked direct sales for years under its dealer law. Texas required Tesla to operate galleries with no price talk allowed. Employees could show you a car, but couldn't discuss numbers. Buyers had to finish the purchase online instead, from home. That rule stood in Texas until state law finally changed in 2025. Connecticut, Louisiana, and other states had their own restrictions too. Some allowed service centers, but banned actual sales locations. Tesla spent over a decade fighting these laws, state by state. Dealer associations lobbied hard to keep the old system intact. They argued direct sales undercut consumer protection built into dealerships. Tesla argued dealers had no incentive to sell a car that needs no service. That argument cuts right to the heart of this entire industry. A traditional dealer makes real money in the service bay, not the lot. Oil changes, transmission work, brake jobs, that's the profit center. Electric cars need almost none of that regular maintenance. No oil changes, fewer moving parts, way less scheduled service. A dealer selling Teslas would be selling away its own future income. That's part of why traditional dealers never wanted this brand anyway. So Tesla built stores in malls instead of car lots. Bright, glass-fronted spaces next to clothing stores and food courts. People wander in on a whim, the same way they'd browse a phone store. No pressure, no pushy pitch, just a car sitting under gallery lighting. It's retail feeder dressed up as a dealership, minus the dealer. Every one of those stores reports straight up to Tesla corporate. There's no local owner making decisions about pricing or staffing. Store managers run operations. They don't own equity in the location. That's a fundamentally different job than owning a Ford dealership. A Ford dealer can sell his dealership as a business someday. A Tesla store manager has a paycheck, not an asset to sell. So if the storefront route is closed, what's actually open? A few real paths exist, though none of them hand you the brand. The first involves the cars themselves, once they're already sold. Tesla vehicles still need collision repair, tires, and glass work. That work increasingly happens through independent, certified shops. Tesla runs a certification program for approved body shops. Shops apply, get inspected, and buy specialized equipment to qualify. Certification lets a shop legally do structural aluminum and battery-adjacent repairs. It's not free and it's not fast, but it's a real, viable path. A second path runs through charging infrastructure instead of cars. Businesses can host a Tesla supercharger station on their property. A gas station, hotel, or shopping center can apply to host one. Tesla installs and owns the equipment in most of these deals. The property owner gets increased foot traffic while chargers sit and pull. Some hosting deals include a small revenue share on energy sold. It's modest income, closer to a landlord's rent than dealer profit. A third path skips the operational side completely, buying the stock. That's the only way to become a literal fractional owner of Tesla. No storefront, no certification exam, no hosting agreement required. Just a brokerage account and a ticker symbol. TSLA. Let's talk about how Tesla actually makes its money first, though. The company runs on two main segments, automotive and energy. Automotive means the cars, sedans, SUVs, the Cybertruck, all of it. Energy means solar panels, home batteries, and grid-scale storage. The automotive segment still drives the overwhelming majority of revenue. Energy generation and storage has been the faster-growing piece lately. Home power walls and utility-scale Megapacks both fall under that segment. Utilities buy Megapacks by the dozen to stabilize regional power grids. That business looks nothing like a car company on paper. It's industrial equipment sold to power companies, not families. Automotive regulatory credits are a strange, quiet third revenue source. Other automakers who fall short of emissions rules buy credits from Tesla. That's essentially selling permission slips to competitors who need them. It's high margin and almost entirely disconnected from building cars. As of August 2026, Tesla's market capitalization sits near $1.35 trillion. The stock trades in the range of $335 to $345 a share. That places Tesla among the most valuable companies in the world. It sits well above most traditional automakers combined by a wide margin. Ford and General Motors together aren't close to that valuation. Investors aren't just pricing in cars. They're pricing in everything else too. Full self-driving software, robotaxis, the Optimus humanoid robot project. Tesla trades more like a technology company than an auto manufacturer. That's exactly why the stock swings so hard on unrelated news. A robotics update can move the price as much as delivery numbers do. Let's look at the independent body shop path a little closer. Certification isn't cheap, and neither is the equipment it requires. Specialized welding rigs, aluminum repair tools, diagnostic software licenses. Startup costs for a certified shop can run into six figures easily. Part sourcing adds another layer of complexity most shops don't expect. Tesla parts often ship slower than parts for mainstream car brands. A shop can have a car finished except for one back-ordered panel. That car sits taking up bay space, earning nothing for weeks sometimes. Insurance companies have complained publicly about repair timelines and costs. Aluminum bodies and battery pack proximity make some repairs genuinely harder. A shop owner isn't selling cars. They're selling specialized labor and patience. Done well, it's a real, profitable niche inside collision repair. Done without enough capital reserve, back orders can bury a small shop fast. Now the charging host path carries its own quieter set of trade-offs. A property owner doesn't control pricing at the charger. Tesla does. They don't control uptime either when equipment breaks down. A malfunctioning charger can sit offline for days before a technician arrives. During that time, foot traffic the property was counting on evaporates. Hosting is a passive relationship, and passive cuts both ways. You benefit from Tesla's decisions. You also absorb Tesla's mistakes. There's no negotiation table where a small host pushes back hard. Tesla sets the terms. Sites either qualify or they don't. That's the same power imbalance every other close to the brand video shows. The company that owns the infrastructure always keeps the leverage. A gas station owner hosting a charger learns this within the first year. The chargers bring in new customers who buy coffee while they wait. That secondary revenue is often more meaningful than the hosting fee itself. It's a magnet for foot traffic, not a standalone income source, which mirrors almost exactly how wholesale retail works for other brands too. Now let's walk through how the direct sales fight actually played out. Michigan passed dealer protection laws decades before electric cars existed. Tesla opened a gallery there anyway, testing the boundaries of the law. The state pushed back, and Tesla spent years in legal battles. Direct sales in Michigan remained blocked for a long stretch of time. Texas took a different approach. Galleries allowed, sales conversations banned. Employees could show off features, but had to redirect pricing questions online. Customers finished the actual purchase through Tesla's website instead. It was a workaround built entirely around a law never meant for this. State legislators finally passed a bill allowing full direct sales in 2025. That ended a fight that had run for well over a decade. Connecticut kept restrictions in place even longer than Texas did. Dealer associations there argued the old system protected consumers better. Tesla argued the restriction just protected dealers from a better model. Neither side fully backed down until legislative pressure eventually shifted. Louisiana still maintains some of the tightest restrictions in the country. Tesla can service cars there, but faces real limits selling new ones. Buyers in restricted states sometimes drive across a border to close a deal. A car bought in one state, delivered and titled in another entirely. That workaround exists purely because of how the laws are written. It's a strange, very American compromise between old law and new business. Let's step back and look at how this company actually got here. Tesla's first car, the Roadster, shipped in 2008 in tiny numbers. It was expensive, low volume, and built on a Lotus chassis. The real transformation came with the Model S sedan years later. That car proved an electric vehicle could be fast, comfortable, and desirable. The Model 3 and Model Y later pushed Tesla into mass volume territory. By the mid-2020s, Tesla was among the best-selling vehicles globally. The Cybertruck arrived with a radically different design and rocky early production. Manufacturing complexity around its stainless steel body slowed early output significantly. Full self-driving software has been promised and delayed for years running. Progress has been real, but full autonomy has taken longer than announced. In August 2026, Tesla began rolling out the Cybercab robotaxi publicly, a vehicle with no steering wheel and no pedals at all. It represents a bet on autonomous ride-hailing as a future revenue stream. If it works at scale, the entire ownership question in this video shifts. A robotaxi fleet doesn't need dealers, buyers, or even individual owners at all. It needs infrastructure, software, and enormous capital to actually operate. That's a business model closer to an airline than a car dealership. Elon Musk's compensation packages have themselves become a recurring news story. Massive stock-based pay tied directly to ambitious growth and valuation targets. Shareholder votes on these packages have been contentious more than once. Executive pay this size adds real uncertainty around future dilution and control. None of that changes how you'd actually get exposure to this company. It just adds another layer of variables an investor has to track. Let's put real numbers on the stock ownership path specifically. $10,000 at $340 a share buys roughly 29 shares. Tesla currently pays no dividend at all to shareholders. There's no quarterly check landing in your account, unlike some other brands. The entire return case rests on the share price moving over time. That makes this a growth bet, not an income investment in any sense. The stock has a long history of extreme volatility in both directions. Sharp rallies on good news, sharp drops on missed delivery targets. An investor here needs a stronger stomach than a typical dividend holder. There's no cushion of cash payments to soften a rough quarter. Compare that to the certified body shop path for a moment. That route demands real capital and real operational skill. Day to day. It also generates active income immediately once the shop is running. The stock path demands patience and tolerance for large price swings instead. Neither path hands you a dealership, a logo, or a say in strategy. Board decisions, pricing, product direction, none of that touches a shareholder directly. A shareholder votes occasionally. Tesla's executives run the actual company. That's true of every public company, but it stings more here. The brand feels personal in a way most industrial companies don't. Owning a sliver of stock still feels different from owning the swagger. That gap between feeling and legal reality is exactly the theme here. You can get close to this business through service work or shares. You can never actually buy the thing that makes it Tesla. The direct sales model, the software, the brand itself, all stay locked inside. Nobody sells you a franchise because the company was built to need none. The people who do well here understand the model as closely as they understand the car.